You have probably seen the images in history books and on TV documentaries, pictures from concentration camps at the time of the Holocaust. But there are pictures you may have never seen.
These are just a few of the approximately 30,000 Jews, many of them teenagers, who fought back during the Holocaust as Jewish partisans. They were the ones who escaped from Nazi camps to form or join organized resistance groups. And with us this afternoon is author Tim Linehan of Bethany Beach, who has spent at least 10 years researching this lesser-known aspect of the Holocaust and wrote this young adult historical novel called Hannah Gould. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you for having me here.
So I got to ask you, who is Hannah Gould?
Hannah Gould is a fictional character. She's based on 3 real people. 2 were younger girls. Wanda, who was actually Nayuda Teitelbaum, 16 years old, and Zosia, 15 years old, and a young man who I interviewed in his 80s, he's now passed, Samuel McIver. Samuel was a 19-year-old partisan, Jewish partisan, in the Belarusian force, blowing up the German transport trains that were supplying the German army on the Russian front.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. You say this book is about a lesser-known aspect of the Holocaust. Explain that.
Well, if you look at there's a vast amount of writing about World War II. There's a huge amount of writing about the Holocaust. But usually you're getting information about the camps, about righteous Gentiles hiding Jews, and so on and so forth. Very, very little about partisans. Very even smaller amount about Jewish partisans, an even smaller amount about female Jewish partisans. So I did my research in the U.S. Holocaust Memorial Museum in Washington, D.C. They pointed me to Gratz College in Philadelphia, Tuttleman Library, Holocaust Archives there. One day I found a massive volume that cited 2 teenage girls, Wanda and Zosia. It was in a book called Lata Volki. Lata Volki in Polish means years of struggle. Stanislawa Sawinska was the author. Stanislawa Sawinska was a Polish communist, a Gentile, non-Jew. When Hitler invaded in September 1st, 1939, they made a deal with Stalin. They drove up to Warsaw and stopped. I placed Hannah in Warsaw. They got out into a suburb of Warsaw. Stanislawa Sawinska got into Western Poland. As a non-Jew, she's relatively safe now in German-occupied Poland. She doesn't like what the Germans are doing to her home country, Poland. She then moves back to Warsaw, now occupied, under the noses of the SS and the Gestapo. She starts coordinating the partisan strikes on the trains.
This is absolutely fascinating.
It is fascinating.
Tell me the 3 names that you said that you had.
Wanda and Zosia were talked about by Stanislava Sawinska.
Okay.
They're all real people.
All right.
Wanda is her code name was Wanda. Her real name was Nayuda Teitelbaum. Stanislava Sawinska, her code name as a spy in Warsaw was Barbara.
So who is Samuel Macover?
McIver. So when I was researching in Gratz College, when I found the book that had the information about Wanda and Zosia, they asked me, have you talked to Sam McIver? No, who's Sam McIver? So I sat down with Sam. He's now passed away. But
yeah, right.
I sat down with Sam face to face, eye to eye, across the table, and he explained to me everything he did in 1943-44, blowing up the German trains.
Wow.
Where they got the gunpowder, how they placed the charges.
This is real stuff.
How they detonated it. Hannah Gould is blowing up those trains.
And these are teenagers.
Wow.
At the time.
He was 19.
He was 19. So what do you hope people will take away from Hannah Gould?
Well, today, unfortunately, we have an upsurge in anti-Semitism, not just in Germany and in Europe, but also in this country. Also, there is Holocaust deniers and so forth. Also, I'd like to get the teenage reader involved in history. because I think we're kind of missing that opportunity these days.
Yeah.
And rather than write nonfiction, very boring, very dry, you really have to be dedicated to look into nonfiction. But you're willing to read a novel. So the difference between nonfiction and fiction is, in nonfiction you may say, okay, there was an anti-Semitic culture and so forth. It talks about that. In the novel, you're there. You're in Hannah's head. You're standing next to Hannah. So when those anti-Semites are coming at you, you're getting it. You're feeling it. You're right there.
Wow.
That's the difference. And that is why I wanted to try and pull in the teens into the history through the novel.
This is fascinating. We could talk all afternoon about this, and I'd really love to, but we can't. Is there anything here that you have presented that you really think would take your readers by surprise?
Well, just the fact that Wanda and Zosia died in the line of battle, not just hiding in the woods, but they were leading units.
Leading units?
Leading units. 16-year-old girl and a 15-year-old girl were leading units. Zosia, or Wanda, they were ambushed in the forest. Her and another a male companion held off the German attack while the rest of her unit escaped, and she died in the forest.
Wow.
They gave her the Grunwald Cross, which is Poland's highest honor after death.
It's amazing. The book is called Hannah Gould. The author is Tim Linehan. Thank you so much. Very fascinating stuff.